welcome on in to another episode of Free NHL Picks with Terry. I am Terry and ready to break down the NHL slate that is happening today on this Monday. New layout, new show layout, and everything here. And we're going to do things a little bit differently. So starting today, obviously we're going to be looking at the NHL standings before going over the slate. And then starting tomorrow, I'll have my best bet record up so we can look at what I've been doing on the show lately. But we will jump right into it and take a look at the current NHL standings that we have here. So the Metropolitan, Carolina, 66 points in first place. New Jersey in second with 64. The Rangers in third place with 57. Boston, no surprise, leading the Atlantic, 78 points. Toronto has 64, and Tampa Bay has 59. The biggest takeaway here is the New Jersey Devils. At home, 12-10-2 at home, but 18-2-2 on the road. They are, it's crazy with how great they are on the road, but just over 500 at home. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Looking at the current wildcard race, Washington currently has the first wildcard spot. Pittsburgh in second with 54 points. Florida and New York Islanders both 3 points behind, trying to catch up to the Pens. Buffalo, they are 5 points behind with one game in hand over Pittsburgh. And then we get on to the bottom feeders here, Philadelphia, Detroit, Ottawa, Montreal, and by far the worst team in the Eastern Conference, the Columbus Blue Jackets, with 30 points, 46 games. Going on to the West and the Central, Dallas currently leads the Central Division, Winnipeg in second, Minnesota in third. Minnesota 9 points back with 3 games in hand over Dallas and Winnipeg. And the Pacific, wide open. Vegas with 60 points, Seattle with 59, LA with 58, Edmonton with 57. So the top 4 teams in the Central separated by 3 points. Seattle has games in hand on the rest of the teams there. Colorado in the second wildcard spot now, winning 5 games in a row. Calgary falling out of the playoffs. Nashville with 50 points there. St. Louis with 49. And then we take a big step down here with Vancouver with 39, San Jose with 37, Arizona with 35, Chicago with 32, and the Anaheim Ducks, the worst team in the Western Conference, with 31 points. So that is our NHL standings update. And we will get ready to go into the first game here. But we'll look at the comments. Morning, Terry. Morning, Tim. How's it going? Sabres money line, plus 150. Sabres team total over 2.5. Thompson anytime goal. Olofsson anytime point. Power anytime point. And Skinner, Thompson, and Tuck anytime point parlay. Best of luck, Tim. We'll definitely be getting to that game here shortly. When it comes to this one here, Florida and New York Rangers, you can get Florida anywhere from plus 115 to plus 125. New York Rangers, minus 137 to minus 152. 6.5s right across the board in this one. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see the post that I put up last night. Some very interesting stats in this one. 13 of the last 14 meetings between Florida and New York Rangers have gone over 6.5. So if you've been betting the over in every game, you're at least 13 for 14. But that one game that didn't go over 6.5 landed on 6. It was in 2018. It's a very good possibility that was a 5.5 or a 6. So that would have been a push. So when you are betting the over with these teams, you haven't lost in a long time. Florida has been going over recently. The Rangers have gone under in 4 straight, but went over in 4 of their last 5 before that. And I think this is a great spot for the over. I like a lot of goals in this one. And I also like the Florida Panthers as an underdog. They've been playing great. Both of these teams have been playing pretty well. But Florida especially has surprised me with how they played as of late. And I think that there's value on them at plus 120 here. So I'm taking the over 6.5 as well as the Florida Panthers. When looking at player props for this game, of course, I like the over, so I do like player props as well. Alexander Barkov, over half an assist, minus 115. He has an assist in 8 of his last 10 games. Brandon Montour to get an assist, plus 125. He is an assist in 7 of his last 9 games. And Sam Reinhart to get an assist at plus 150. He is an assist in 6 of his last 7 games. So I don't have any goal scoring props for this game. Whoever scores can score away. I just want assists from those 3 players, Barkov, Montour, and Sam Reinhart, all in Florida. When looking at New York Rangers props, the Rangers offense hasn't really been there as of late. It hasn't been like Florida. Florida has been scoring as of late. I expect New York Rangers to get some goals as well, but I'm not quite sure who to pick, so I'm not going to pick any player props for them. Almost bet New York Rangers puck line, but it may be Halak. Halak hasn't been awful like everybody thinks. He's been pretty good as of late. Jake says time to hunt. Yes, me and Jake were discussing on Twitter about his Florida Panthers were able to beat the Wild in the last game. That was a good game, and I like them as an underdog here on the road in New York as well. But we'll jump on into the next game here that we have to talk about. The New York Islanders and the Toronto Maple Leafs. You can get the Islanders anywhere from plus 185 to plus 200. Toronto, minus 222 to minus 250. Sixes right across the board in this one. This was a game I ultimately passed on. Islanders are a big dog. So I can understand why anyone would want to take a shot with the Islanders. The issue for me is they haven't been winning games lately. They haven't been playing well lately. Toronto on the other side just lost to Montreal. For some reason, Toronto struggles in Montreal for whatever reason. Obviously, division rivals, long history there. So that could be the reason for that. But it's not just, you can't just use that as an excuse and move on. Toronto is far, far better than the Montreal Canadiens. So you can't just use that as an excuse. But I don't want to back Toronto at minus 250. You'd have to take the puck line, which you're looking at plus 105 to plus 110 on. And I can't take the Islanders either. Maybe looking at the total, it should be Samsonov in net. I'm assuming it would be Sorokin, so a good battle there, but I just don't have anything in this one. Isles are trash. I don't know if trash is the right word, but as I've said numerous times, they're old and slow, and it's a young man's game and it's a fast man's game in the NHL nowadays. That old, slow defensive style worked in the past, but not so much anymore. But moving on to the third game here, we have the Buffalo Sabres, plus 145 to plus 150. Dallas Stars, minus 167 to minus 178. 6.5s right across the board. And this one here, I'm not sure the goaltender for Buffalo. It should be Jake Ottinger in net for Dallas here. When you look at what Dallas has been doing lately, when they win games, it's a 4-0 win. And then they've also been losing games as well. Recently, 3-2-1 in their last 6 games. Buffalo, 6-1-1 in their last 8 on the road. Buffalo is another one of these teams this year that have played better on the road than at home, which is kind of surprising. But Buffalo's won their last 2 games, both at home. Now they're heading on the road to face Dallas. I think this is too big of a price on Buffalo. I like what I've seen from them. their last few games, especially on the offensive side. They're getting their offense back up. I think this is a little bit too high of a price, and I like the Buffalo Sabres as an underdog. One player I've been going to for the last few games at least, and he scored in 5 of his last 6 games, plus 250 in this game to score. That's Victor Olofsson. He has been on fire for the Sabres, so I'm once again back on him, plus 250 to score here. Yes, Dallas has back-to-back 4-0 shutout wins, but they're going to get scored on eventually, and I think the highest, or they might be the highest, or they might be the second highest scoring NHL team now. We'll have to, maybe I'll include that in the beginning of the show in the standings when we look at it, but they're either first or second in scoring in the NHL, and I think they can score here on the Stars. We are about to get to talk about the most profitable New York team. Interesting. It should be UPL tonight. Hey, he's been doing great. So that is fine if it is him. But yeah, I like Buffalo, and I like Victor Olofsson in this one. Final game of the night. Let's see here. Sabres tied for first in NHL, 3.8 with Bruins. Okay, so they're tied now with the Bruins. Columbus and Calgary. Columbus plus 285 to plus 300. Calgary minus 350 to minus 380. 6.5s right across the board. Easy pass. Easy pass for me. I have zero interest in taking Calgary at this huge price. You'd have to take the minus 2.5 in this one. But I'm not backing this Columbus team who is god-awful on the road. I can't back them here. The only thing you could look at when it comes to player prop, Gaudreau is returning to Calgary. Obviously, his first game in Calgary since signing with Columbus. You could look at him as a goal-scoring prop, but for me, absolutely nothing in this game so far. I may get to the Gaudreau anytime goal prop facing his former team, because if there's one player who can score on Columbus, that is him. Wish it was Markstrom. Would have probably taken the over. Yeah, Vladar has been good. Vladar has been good, so I can totally understand that. But that is the show for today. We'll get to best bets now, and then we'll finish off the show. If you want to find my premium plays on Picks and Parlays, the link is in the description below. I've given you my 3 hockey plays, but my 2 NBA plays are available in a 5-pick package available on the site. So head over there and get that. I've been on fire 12-5 in my last 17 premium plays on the site. Best bet for today is Florida and Tampa Bay over 6.5, minus 115. I expect the trend to go to 14 and 15 games over 6.5 between these two teams. I like goals. And then my player prop best bet is Alexander Barkov from Florida over half an assist, minus 115. I know it's not plus money, but he is an assist in 8 of his last 10 games. He's going to be on the power play. He's on the top line. He's a good look for a player prop best bet. And I think I actually skipped one. I actually did skip a player prop for that Florida game. I also have Anton Lundell anytime goal. So I do have a goal scoring prop plus 325. He has goals in 3 of his last 4 games. So going back to the Florida game, Anton Lundell plus 325 goals in 3 of his last 4 games. But that is the show for today. 6:00 p.m. Eastern tonight, me and Nick will be doing our first look-ahead show that we'll be doing Mondays and Wednesdays, looking at the next day, Tuesday/Thursday, big NHL slates, and going over different things on the slate, what you should bet now, what you should wait, depending on what teams you like. But that is today's show. Best of luck to your bets today, guys, and we'll see you again tomorrow for another free NHL picks with Terry. Best of luck, guys.